everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we have the last card revealed, the raid boss Onyxia herself, legendary minion neutral. We'll take a look in a second and we'll go over kind of my thoughts on the mini set. And again, I want you guys to have a chance at getting the mini set. So for the last time, probably reminding you, we're gonna announce the winner. Oh, by the way, on Wednesday I'll announce the winner when we have our day one mini set review. A way to win the mini set, whether it be regular or golden, I'm giving away one of each. Like this video, comment on this video, be linked in the description below, subscribe to the channel. By the way, we're almost at 42,000, like what the hell, thank you guys. And we'll announce that on Wednesday, and well, let's get into it. Is this dragon the card that's gonna save Hearthstone, break the meta? Well, let's take a look, We have a raid boss Onyxia, 10 mana, 8/8 dragon with rush, and it is immune while you control a whelp. And then Battlecry summons 6/2/1 whelps with rush. So this card cannot be murdered if there is a board of whelps on the board. That's pretty effective. When you play this, no matter what, when you play this for 10 mana, you get an 8/8 rush minion. That's straight up. It's you get an 8/8 rush minion. It is always going to be immune because you're going to control whelp unless your board is full, which is probably a good thing. You're probably winning if your board is full. And we've seen all these other whelp cards. I'm sure it's not just these whelps from Onyxia, but like we saw the druid spell that summons whelps. We saw the priest spell where you draw a dragon, you get whelps. There's a good amount of synergy with this. And I'm curious if it works with like the 1/1 whelps, like the original Onyxia whelps. This has just been revealed. So I'm going off what my assumptions are. And you can always let me know in the comments below when I'm wrong. Like, you know, you don't add dragons to your hand when you discover 2 dragons and summon them. But overall, this is a really strong minion, but it's 10 mana. That's the crux of it, of course. This is a 10 mana card that at the end of the day is a 10 mana 8/8 rush. But it's at least it doesn't do nothing, and they have to clear off all the other whelps. I'm assuming that this is immune no matter what, unless the whelps are dead. So your opponent will have to clear off all the whelps, so the 1/1s, do some kind of AoE effect, then can damage Onyxia. So that's pretty powerful. It's not like the old Onyxia or like the new one, sorry, that keeps resummoning whelps, but you could couple it with this, the newest Onyxia where it keeps summoning whelps, and I guess keep this immune because it doesn't say what type of whelp. I'm assuming it's any whelp. So it's a potentially good card, but man, it's 10 mana. Like how often do we get to play 10 mana cards in Hearthstone today? Almost never, but I mean, this is going to be seeing play no matter what right now. Ramp Druid's a good deck, right? It's a good deck right now, and you're going to resizing pouch into this. That's a resizing pouch option. I could see a Ramp Druid maybe just hard running it. It's a really big threat. It creates a giant board, and it's proactive. So I could see it in like the Ramp Druid. I could see it maybe like I don't know, a dragon control priest, maybe a control warrior, a big warrior. It's just, again, we're at this point where with the quest decks, with the OTK decks, it's so hard to get excited for a card that if this came out 3 years ago, this would be absolutely insane. But I do think this will see play. I don't think this is a bad card by any means. I think it's actually pretty nuts, and it's neutral. So 10 classes can try and, you know, utilize this. And I think a couple classes, we already know Druid will in one way or another with resizing pouch. So by the way, that rotates. Resizing is only going to be a thing for like a couple more months. So anyways, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 in standard because I do think multiple classes can utilize this. I do think the effect is strong, and I like that it's a big minion that does something cool and it's powerful, and it's just, man, 10 minutes hard to come by. And in Wild, it's probably a Luna's Pocket Galaxy card, but even then, it's actually kind of bad because like it screws with Luna, where like you play Luna, then Onyxia, but it fills your board. You can't play anything more because I don't. Oh, these have Rush. Sorry, I didn't even realize these all have Rush. I got to this point where they don't have Rush. I'm still giving it a 4, but these have Rush. You can trade them in, so it's not that bad with Luna's Pocket Galaxy. We'll reassess that, but yeah, no, just really strong. The whole board presence. I'm gonna give it a 4 in standard. I'll give it 3 in Wild for those big greedy decks that do a bunch of mana cheat and all of that with the Luna's Pocket Galaxy. But yeah, I mean, that is a giant board sweep, and I just see this as a Druid card. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit excited about that, but yeah, that's all the cards from the mini set. My overall impressions of everything, though, I will say, is that it's not going to change the meta much right now. The meta is so crazy with like the optimized OTKs, the quest decks, insane mana cheat still across the board. But I do feel like this mini set is it's setting the tone. If you look at the power level of a lot of these cards, that they're trying to scale things back a little bit. They're trying to get more board-based strategies. I feel like this is setting the stage for the rotation when things are changing in a couple months more than the current meta game. And I think that's more important than to try and like, oh, let's change the meta for like a month and just obliterate every plan we have. And you know, some of these cards are kind of nuts. Like for Furious Howl, I feel like is going to see play right away in Aggressive Hunters. I am actually quite concerned about the Warlock card that puts fatigue into your opponent's deck, because that is an insane amount of damage, which you can couple with Tamsin and do all sorts of stuff. I feel like this style of card, if it's good, it's toxic, and I just don't like it. And I'm worried that in Standard and Wild, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm worried that this is just going to be disgusting and frustrate me more. But overall, I do feel like they're setting the stage for the future, more for the next expansion. And I'll even go and go into Cora. Cora talked about this the other day. I just want to put this point home, because Cora, who is like the lead designer on this expansion, this is the first time she's led an expansion, put out this thread saying she's seeing comments about Onyxia's Lair boiling down to these cards can't compete with OTK decks. A lot of concern you guys might be having. We've made a real effort in the last few months to reduce the power level and representation of combo OTK in the meta. Measuring every card reveal based on whether compete is reasonable, but the landscape will continue to change with the core set rotation and the release of the first expansion of the new year. I think you'll see an effort to incentivize board-based gameplay. It's something that I've personally been keeping in mind when designing cards for this upcoming year. Basically, we want as much variety as we can in the standard cycle, and with this year OTK and combo flourished, and we'll continue to create decks and balance the meta so other strategies have a chance to flourish. And she goes on about that. So yeah, TLDR, I'm excited for what we've cooked up for this year, and I think you will be too. Hope you're enjoying the Onyxia's Lair card reveal. So if you're going into this mini set and you've seen a lot of cards that might seem underpowered compared to prior expansions, seem to be not quite at the same level, you're not as excited, Flamewaker for 8 mana isn't really getting you psyched, it probably will make a lot more sense in the upcoming months. But I do think the meta will shift. I do think, at least in Standard, things will change a bit. Not a lot, but they'll change. I'm excited to see how it works out. I'm sure I'll complain about it, as we always do. And, you know, maybe it'll break the game day one and I'll go on a big rant or whatever. But I like it. I love the flavor and the design of a lot of these cards from this mini set. But I gotta say, a lot of them are very similar to old designs, and I might have a video comparing almost every card to a card that exists before. So anyways, kind of my thoughts on everything. I am excited overall, and Onyxia looks pretty insane, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.